I went on with my pal Mark Halperin on his Next Up show
Okay.
this morning. We taped it before I taped my show.
Mark Halperin, he was the guy who also left whatever network he was on because he was sexually harassing people, which is why she left the network she was on. Weird. Just palling around.
Oh, well, we're doing this.
Talking about this issue. I mean, shouldn't you have to recuse yourself if you have forgiven your sexual harasser or have brought on other sexual harassers onto your fucking show?
Live. And
I don't know if you know that Greg Kelly is covering this shit at all.
And Halperin is everywhere. He does that show and he does Two Way and he's like,
Oh, there we go. MAGA base is cracking. Trump makeup. Oh, so good. And even name checks me in it. Thank you, CSL. We'll get to that in a minute. Fuck.
Whatever. And apparently on his Two Way show today, and
Ew.
even in our interview, he raised this with me and I knew what he was talking about. But I want to tell you what happened.
No doubt.
On Two Way, he said the following. Everyone I know believes a major newspaper, one of the top 3 newspapers in the country, is about to publish a piece about President Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone I know knows that, and people in the White House know that too. When that story drops, if it drops today, and some people think it might, it could drive the day. Then he asks the following questions to Dan Turrentine and Sean Spicer.
By the way, apparently the White House has been on the phone with the Wall Street Journal editorial board and everybody there all fucking day. Like, don't you fucking dare. Like, threatening them, scorched earth, the whole thing. But they got to know that the real power is in the information. So, I don't know how much you... if you're being threatened, you're safer releasing the whole thing, right? Oh, yeah, Fuentes, fuck that guy. But, yeah, totally freaking out about him.
Either answer them or say, in fact, we don't know. How did Trump and Jeffrey Epstein meet? I don't know, they say. Did Trump...
Oh, this was Halpern talking to Sean Spicer and somebody else, I think. So how did they meet? I don't know. That's the thing. Okay. They met in 1986, though, at least. At the latest.
Ever go to Jeffrey Epstein?
No, not Daisy Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist with the strangely Hispanic name.
Epstein's townhouse. Yes, it's not a townhouse, it's a mansion. How many times? I believe many. What occasions? One-on-one parties?
How many times did he go there? Many.
What did he go for? I don't know. Okay, he's just asking these questions. It's fine. These guys don't know. I think I know the answers to a lot of these, and I answered them on Halpern's show. So if you want to hear my answers, you can tune in to Next Up. Not that I'm some expert on Epstein. I've just been neck deep in all of these reports over the past, couple of weeks for obvious reasons. But
You know who was also neck deep? Epstein, I think. Also, let's see. I wish I could put a timer on the screen. Shit. Like an on-screen. Let's see. Hold on. Give me 1 second, chat. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. This will work. Okay. Let's see. I'll turn off the music on that because I have no idea what the music is on there. Let's see. And I'll do this. Yeah, this will work. Okay. So, here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the door. Shut the door. Walk over. Grab the guy. Break the hyoid bone. Right? Hyoid bone. Right. Okay. He's out. Okay. Grab the sheet, wrap it around his head, tie that part up here, make a nice knot, tie that, pull it good tight, yank it up like that, put it right over there, outside, shut the door, truck across the room, up the steps. Shit, I got 10 seconds left. Anybody else you want me to choke to death? I'm just saying, I hope you guys understand the point I was trying to make there. 60 seconds missing. from the original idea was that there's a minute missing from the 10-hour tape of Epstein's cell that's around the corner, right? All that stuff. Turns out there was actually 3 times that amount, according to Wired. 3 minutes missing. Yeah. FBI's Jeffrey Epstein prison video had nearly 3 minutes cut out of it. So I jokingly was showing you that you can pretty much choke somebody to death in about 35 seconds if you're really strong and they were asleep, especially if you break the front of their neck so that they're suffocating even after you take your hands away. And how, if you run someplace in 10 seconds, you can run across a little, how far can you run in 10 seconds? Okay. Then you do that. You got another 40 seconds to kill the person. And then you've got another 10 seconds to run away. Now, I'm being facetious. Obviously, the person could have entered that cell and hidden in there while he was asleep, or whatever, early on, and all they needed for that minute was to leave. But it turns out they had a whole 3 fucking minutes. You can run 100 yards? Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, you can run 70. So about you're 70, you're about 3 feet. That would probably be enough because all you had to do was go past that little area where they might have seen your shoulder going up the fucking steps. You had a minute to either get in there or get out. You can inject faster. That's true. That is very true. But according to that, he was, The other thing, too, is what if you're just helping him fake his death? Yeah, the hyoid break is not lethal. I know that. But what I'm saying is that if you crushed his throat, the idea is that he can't breathe because of that is the idea. Anyways, I'm being facetious because they obviously had well more than a minute. And everybody has talked about this like, I don't know, anybody could ninja assassinate, kill somebody in a minute. You didn't have to, motherfucker. That minute could have been you entering or you exiting. And also, now that you got 3 minutes, that's 30 seconds to enter and 30 seconds to leave. And then 2 minutes to choke the motherfucker. No, we never saw the dead body cremated. Right. Yeah. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes cut out of the non-edited video and all that kind of stuff. So you can see why, unlike the poor homeless man who happened to look like Jeffrey Epstein, this story is not going to die. So
I can tell you, I don't know why we're afraid to say it's the Wall Street Journal. Maybe that will turn out to be untrue, but I've been told by multiple sources that the Journal's working on a piece on Trump and Epstein. And guys, there's no question in my mind that there's going to be a lot there because they knew each other for 15 years. They were actually close friends for 15 years.
Yeah. And it would take at least 16 years to figure out that guy was a pedophile. I mean, you might even wake up to it, when you were giving the interview where you were saying, he really likes him on the younger side. Hey, wait a second.
Prior to Epstein's troubles. And
what a bunch of assholes.
I'm sure they did spend a lot of.
Whoa. Sorry, prior to what?
15 years prior to Epstein's troubles.
Sorry, are his troubles getting arrested for the fact that he was a fucking pedophile? Not, it's troubling that he fucking was? Jesus Christ, woman.
And I'm sure they did spend a lot of time together.
We have video.
But what does that tell us? He spent.
That at the very least, he is the shittiest judge of character in the history of the world. Therefore, if he says Putin's a good guy, or Xi Jinping's like his best friend, or Kim Jong-un seems like he's sharp as a tack or whatever, maybe, dipshit, maybe take that with a grain of fucking salt, you absolute asshole.
A lot of time with a lot of luminaries, and they weren't all pedophiles, right? It's like a lot of them, some of them were women. It was the Dalai Lama was over at Epstein's house. Michael Wolff just told Vicky Ward that a couple of days ago, and we could go on. So it's not.
Yeah. For the big gatherings. Yeah. For the big parties that he used as cover to get his way into high society. Trump was over there when it was just him and a bunch of chicks.
It doesn't make Trump look bad, or it doesn't incriminate him.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't care if the Dalai Lama went over there once because some dude associated with Harvard was throwing a smart people party, and it was in New York, and they brought him by, and his handlers brought him over. Holy shit! Like the dude, one of the people in the Dalai Lama's fucking entourage could have been in it with Epstein, and the Dalai Lama's just going place to place. It's when you go back again and again and again.
Anyway, that he was friends with the guy. He's already admitted that.
No. He did until he didn't. I barely knew him. I wasn't a fan. Right? Remember that?
The question is, are you going to produce evidence that Trump took advantage of an underage girl? Now, if...
Okay. Evidence besides Katie Johnson's deposition and her interview on camera and her civil case against him, it depends on whether you would call that evidence. I would, but I doubt they would. Also, on top of that, no, I don't need evidence that Trump had sex with somebody who is under the age of 18, because two things could possibly be happening here. One, Epstein found a 16-year-old who looks 19 and convinced Trump that she was, and he's got that on tape. So Trump, because he likes him older, was looped into this, and Epstein had leverage on him, and that's why he helped him fake his death in 2019, so he could escape and live on a different island, whatever the fuck, until this is all over, or until Trump passes away, or whatever the shit, right? Or until his facial reconstructive surgery heals, and then he's back in New York, with a fucking, curly Q mustache going, some people mistakenly call me Jeff, but I'm not a Jeff. I favor this old man, but the nose, if you'll notice, and the chin, also the cheekbones, very different. No, I don't need to believe that. And it was also where Jeffrey Epstein would train and control these girls and turn them basically into submissive sex slaves. Right? That was a reality. And there were certain people that weren't interested in the underage girls. They were fine with them being 18, but Jeffrey had trained them to behave.
They're there, then we're talking a scandal. But honestly, if somebody's got...
No. No. We're talking a crime of moral turpitude. We're not talking about a scandal. The scandal is he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 fucking years, according to you, and 25 actually, and he had no idea. That's a fucking scandal.
Got that proof? We would have seen it by now, would we not?
Yeah.
No. You know why? Because when they raided the properties where all the video and shit that they would have had on Trump, was taken in, Trump was fucking president, and Bill Barr was the head of the DOJ. And Bill Barr's father gave Epstein his first fucking job at a girls' school, you fucking moron. It's gone. And if it's not gone, it's hidden somewhere, and finding it's going to be a bitch. Like somebody snuck a copy and shoveled it somewhere, and we're not going to get it until, somebody, deathbed confession or something. The evidence was gathered while Trump was president last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. Fuck all three of you. What the fuck is the matter with you? The raids happened when Trump was president. When the head of the DOJ was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, when Steve Bannon had been advising Jeffrey Epstein. There's hardly anybody around Trump that he was close to that wasn't somebody like Rex Tillerson or something that was picked by other Republicans. Anybody that Trump picked personally is either implicated in or directly connected to the cover-up of the Epstein stuff.
The Biden administration had access to all of these files.
No. They have yes, they have the files, but only the stuff that's left over after the Trump fucking purge. And the evidence you do have is the fucking witnesses, and a bunch of them are kicking off.
At least the Biden Justice Department did, whether or not the president or any of his people looked at it. The possibility that this information, this damning, incriminating information that would have...
Nope. Oh, no. No, I got news for you. Technically speaking, you I guess in theory, you could be friends with a pedophile and never face criminal charges. I guess maybe somebody could charge you with not reporting a crime you knew of if you saw it happen, which is very weird because I don't know that anybody has ever suggested that Trump was in the room while these massages happened, although it is entirely possible. But proving it would be really fucking difficult, especially with the other guy in the room dead and very possibly the girl in the room dead. It's not criminal to be friends with a pedophile. Or Trump had been in jail a long fucking time ago and we wouldn't have gone through this. So no. And the girls that he may have been fucking that, you know, he's on video fucking or whatever, might be they might be unable to identify them and therefore they cannot prove that they are underage because they were Eastern European girls that were brought over and then sent back and nobody knows who the fuck they are. And they can't chase it down because those girls are either, you know, have been trafficked themselves and are afraid to talk or are fucking dead too. So no, they don't have evidence of a crime, just horrible, like immoral behavior, which, by the way, will still be enough.
Devastated Donald Trump's future prospects as a politician, or perhaps even brought him under criminal suspicion. The likelihood that that would not have already come out years ago is unbelievably low.
Nope. Sorry, stupid. Doesn't work that way. Fuck you. They had, like, when they would go after him for the crimes they had direct evidence of, namely him being a fraud in business and lying to banks and the IRS at the same fucking time about the same fucking property, pretending some of his buildings had 10 stories they did not have. Material, obvious, criminal, like criminally liable behavior. Like that's cut and dry. And again, if there was evidence that he engaged in this stuff, it is highly probable that since he was president at the time that all this evidence was scooped up in the first fucking place. And that, by the way, Alex Acosta was his labor secretary. Like that motherfucker didn't know where shit was buried.
Just can't imagine it. We've seen leaks of absolutely everything else. We've seen legal trials that have been completely prosecuted on much thinner, less...
No, you haven't.
Sensational ground.
No, you haven't. And by the way, you can't try somebody as a sensation, dumb fuck.
We would have seen this already, so that doesn't seem to be what's hidden here or obscured anyways.
Right. E. Jean Carroll accused him of rape.
Yes, and the judge in that case, looking at the merits of the case, said that he could be defined as a rapist, that he was adjudicated a rapist by the findings in that civil trial. Yes, according to that judge, using the evidence they had, including the fact that she potentially had a dress with his DNA on it, that led to the judge saying, yes, you can call him a rapist legally.
Which was a completely bullshit allegation.
Always a champion for other women who've been through similar things that she's been through. Thank you, Megyn Kelly.
I don't believe one word that E. Jean Carroll said. But Trump is on camera with the, you know, you can grab him by the P word and they let you get away with it when you're a celebrity. So it's like the fact that Trump might have had a handsy 40s and 50s.
Jesus fucking Christ. A handsy 40s and 50s? Bitch, he was friends with that dude in the 80s.
Or even earlier than that. I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. Yes, you do know. He's on tape saying you can grab him by the pussy, do whatever you want, which is a scarier phrase than grab him by the pussy, by the way. You do realize that, right? You do realize the do whatever you want part is actually way worse than the grab him by the pussy part. That's the handsy part, dumbass. The do whatever you want part gets really fucking scary really fucking fast.
It's not going to come as
Especially when you have security watching the goddamn door.
a huge shock, Matt, but it's if there were proof that he had a thing for underaged girls, you don't
Yeah, I mean, if he rapes adult women or 18-year-olds, thanks, Meg. God damn.
think we'd know that by now?
I think we would know.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because it seems like, from the evidence around the Katie Johnson stuff, that he tried it because he was around Epstein and either was blitzed on fucking amphetamines, which he liked to do, tried it a few times and decided he just liked women with big tits and went another direction. Or he just couldn't find another girl that looked as much like Ivanka, rather.
Know that. I think the potential political damage of this story, and let's keep in mind the Wall Street Journal was not alone, but they were ahead of the pack mostly in writing about the Biden White House Operation Bubble Wrap cover up for months and years. They did.
Wait,
really
is that
good
a
work.
real term or are you just saying that? Because I love that.
No, that was the term. That was the term among both the Journal and the New York Times reporting about the
I must have
handlers of
forgotten that.
Joe Biden.
That's awesome.
We talked about it on this show. They used Operation Bubble Wrap to describe the Dr. Jill Biden kind of initiative. And maybe we'll even talk about that later on in the episode. Who knows? But so anyways, Wall Street Journal does good reporting, period.
Period. So when this comes out, Megyn Kelly, read it and then go, by the way, this is with all the information they were able to gather. There's more information out there, not less. They're not going to make anything up. They're not going to put anything in that they can't corroborate through 2 or at least 3 sources because of the heaviness of this fucking story. So if they're guaranteed there is shit that's true that they cannot corroborate through other sources because Virginia Giuffre is fucking dead.
But right now, I think the fact of the matter about the politics of this is that Trump is facing a political challenge, the likes of which he hasn't really seen in a good while, which is that some people in his base are like, I don't know, dude. I don't like how you're handling this, or I don't
know, dude. Like, bogus.
How your administration is handling this. And at a time when there's
your administration. Asshole, his administration is trying to do cleanup. Then he gets on Truth Social and starts going, fuck MAGA. If you guys can't back me on this Epstein stuff, which is boring, eat my ass. That's what he's saying to his own followers. The administration? Are you drunk?
A lot of people who are more of the independent bent among people in media, conservative media, podcasts and Substack who...
Independent bent. Is he Benny Johnson? Is that a slight against Benny Johnson?
We're dissatisfied with the level of disclosure so far in Epstein-related information from the Justice Department. Having the story drop to remind you of what we already know on the record is that he does have a relationship, as does a lot of people, including several people that all 3 of us know have been to Epstein's island.
Sorry, what?
Including several people that all 3 of us know have been to Epstein's island.
One more time.
Including several people that all 3 of us know have been to Epstein's island.
What? Why the fuck are any of us listening to you then? Jesus Christ. What are the odds that 3 people talking about this issue all happen to know or co-know multiple people who've not just been to Epstein's house, but to the fucking island? Who? Say who?
and or have had interactions with him, scientists and people like that.
What are you smiling about, asshole? He just outed you as knowing somebody who's been to the island.
But the timing of that information.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe there's a delay. Now it's starting to catch on. He's like, what?
At a time when there's these struggles between Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino.
Yes, there's struggles. It's a struggle. There is. There is a struggle going on between Bongholio and Bondi the Blonde. When will it end? I don't know. But I'll tell you so.
And when there are people who haven't gone full Charlie Kirk, in that they haven't gotten a call.
Never go full Charlie Kirk, man. Never.
From the president and said,
You went full Charlie Kirk, man. Never go full Charlie Kirk.
okay, I'll stop talking about it. People are still talking about it on the right.
Well, Charlie is too.
Yeah, he dropped that in about an hour.
He did. He had
good.
that one day of like, I'm not doing it, and then the next 2 days his shows have been heavily.
Good on
Epstein.
Charlie, which is not something that I say.
Good on Charlie. They jumped down his fucking throat. Is it his like shitter feed blew up?
Every single day. But Trump just went out and called those people on the right and within MAGA who are talking about it still. He called them a bunch of losers. He said he's lost
Bad
respect
people who
for
are
them.
weaklings.
Weaklings, and that they're.
Yeah, that means you, Megyn. That means you. Not just Charlie Kirk, not just other people. You. He was speaking specifically about you, Megyn. Megyn Kelly, loser, weakling. That's what Trump was talking about. Because she's been talking about it. She's one of the people.
Working for the fake news, and that this is all like a fake news plot or a liberal democratic plot that you fell for. It's a hoax and etc. It's going to be really interesting against that backdrop to see.
Really interesting. Yeah. How do you? I'm curious. Real quick, just it's just a question. But have you asked the person that you all three know who went to the fucking island what they think about it? Why don't you have one of them on? That's a good idea. Why the fuck is Megyn Kelly talking to these two assholes? Why don't you bring on the guy that you know who went to the island? Who was it? Ask him about it. What's the layout like? What were the parties like? Did you ever see Trump there? You can be his witness. You'll be his alibi.
What those people do. You have just been insulted by the president. I don't know, Megyn, if you know this, but sometimes Donald Trump insults people in the media. On the right.
It's a day ending in Y.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's usually not you guys, though. That's what's different this time.
I mean, look, I will say for the record, my advice to all those people who are on the right is you just keep doing your thing. Like you can't run a show that.
You're right. The best advice Megyn Kelly has ever given. Just ignore Donald Trump.
Way a journalistic outfit. You really can't run that way. President Trump will get mad at any journalist who is doing their job. And I don't forget the fake news. They got their own issues. But I mean, honest reporters who actually like Trump and are fair to Trump. And you just, it's part of being a journalist. You are.
No. When you call everybody fake news that you don't like and anybody good that you agree with all of a sudden, that's not a standard. That's just an insult. And you have been insulted. Be insulted, dipshit.
Are disliked more than you're liked. And that's just the way it goes if you're doing your job right.
Okay. You're not. Holy shit. The fact that these three assholes would admit that they know people that have been on the island, not just on the plane. Because I don't even think Clinton went to the island insofar as I know. Maybe he did. Right? I know he borrowed his plane. He went to Africa and back, and that was where Kevin Spacey rode with him and all that kind of shit. Still, don't care. If Clinton participated in that shit, fuck him. I'll find another Democrat who can balance the budget. It's a team sport. I don't give a shit. Right? You can, literally, if anybody, Noam Chomsky, Jesus Christ. When Noam Chomsky was asked about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a linguist. The man is a linguist. Now, he's a linguist who doesn't speak any other languages, which is fucking weird. But Noam Chomsky's answer when he was asked about his relationship, his financial relationship, by the way, with Jeffrey Epstein, his answer was, none of your business. He's a linguist. He understands probably more than anyone the power of words. And his answer is none of your business. Fuck that guy. No. If anybody has a responsibility for a very verbose explanation, it's fucking Noam Chomsky. Jesus Christ. I mean, he's obviously not now, but then. Somebody in the chat just said Virginia Giuffre said that Clinton didn't do anything. Here's the thing. I have to say that Clinton may not have had sexual relations with underage women. Obviously, he liked his women on the voluminous side as well, it would seem, from what we know of his extramarital affairs. That said, I still think you're guilty if you were around Jeffrey Epstein, if you knew what he was up to at all. Honestly, if you knew he was training these girls and he was keeping them and he was, like holding their passport when they were traveling and doing all this awful shit, just because they turned 18 or 19 and they were around him doesn't mean they hadn't been they've been raped because you can't have sex with a girl that's under 18. It's rape unless you're within the Romeo and Juliet zone where you were, I don't know, whatever it is, 21 to 17, 20 to 16, whatever the 4-year window, usually somewhere in that window, maybe. But if you're their age and you're having sex with someone who's under 18, it's rape. They can't consent, especially if they've been procured by someone else, flown to a location, they don't have their passport or a way to get away. You can't have sex with a slave because they can't leave. It's always rape, no matter what. Sorry. That's how it works. Fuck you. Did Bill Cosby go to the island? He didn't have to. He went to Lewd Island. He would have he just carried lewds and dosed them. Yeah. So yeah, most states it's 3 years. Yeah, that's about right. But the point is, if you knew he was engaged in that shit, then you're just as guilty, even if the women that you were having sex with were over the age of 18. If you knew he had control of them or had molested them and groomed them for this, right? I still think, fuck you. Oh, he's still alive? He's 97? Okay. Well, then, yes, he should be made to answer questions. Fuck him. I don't care if you're 97. I don't get this idea, like fucking Bill Cosby. I shouldn't go to... you should go to jail because you're too old to go to jail and you're too old to rape anybody anymore? Please. Playboy Mansion was the local Epstein Island? No. Everybody at the Playboy Mansion was of age. That was kind of the point. There were, insofar as I know, there were never even any allegations of anybody underage. And there's a distinct difference. I got to tell you, adults are capable of making decisions. If you can send an 18-year-old boy off to war, you can send an 18-year-old girl to a party on her own and do whatever the fuck she wants. And if she doesn't like it, that's the cost of being an adult. We all live there. It's very different if you're a child. And I will not blur those lines at all. That's not good. That is morally reprehensible. We have that standard for a reason. I would argue, by the way, that your brain's not done cooking until you're 22, 25.